scrimmage. The 31 now on 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. 22 yards there, a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From midfield, here's Allen. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Allen. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Yellow, yellow.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. A little flare.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play here for the Cowboys. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. Flushed out right. This is brought in by Gibson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you're going to take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Dancing to his... And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. Allen going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
At the 37-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. 15. Block 59. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you.
To throw, it's Mahomes. This one complete to Scott Miller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 26 and a first down. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson, and some room to maneuver. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Yellow.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on answer to this. Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Going quickly here to Thomas. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And now they'll throw with Allen. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
He was covered by Kevin Byers.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10.
Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 52.
Allen now looks to throw. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
He was covered by Kevin Byers.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Give me that ball, defense. Get him. Get that. Get that.
Allen going to go on 4th down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
First and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. Gibson. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the left side. Evans. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Let's get it.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Now here's Mahomes. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darqueze Dennard. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 46.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Throwing now is Allen. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that side.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
59, Mike, 59, Mike, check, Bravo! Hey, pick your game up! Mike, check, 59, 65,
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On first down, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nick Bosa in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. And here's Allen throwing on 3rd and long. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Will Harris. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. 25 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes steps away. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out.
Pretty good spot for second down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 25 on second down, Allen. This is caught by Robinson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game. They've done a great job of doing that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On second down, it's Coleman. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
He finds Coleman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen now going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him